the screw is missing from the door module. So if you want to take apart the door, you're gonna have to remove this. But what if you're missing that little screw there, as in my case? Can you still remove it? The answer is yes. It's gonna be a little bit harder though, but it's very doable. The tool that you need is this hook pick. You're gonna insert it, and you're gonna wanna catch that tooth right there. This tooth right here, you're gonna wanna catch it. And next, please don't forget this. You're gonna have to pull on this and on this at the same time. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. It's gonna get stuck. So once you're pulling on both of them, now you're gonna apply pressure and move the tooth, and that's it. And then you're gonna remove this one, wiggle it, and it comes right off. And that's how you take it off if you're missing that little screw. And the reason why you have to be pulling on the handle and on the part that goes here at the same time is that if you don't pull on the handle, it's not gonna turn it's not gonna be able to unlock, because it wouldn't rotate all the way and you wouldn't be able to take this out freely. So that's why you have to be pulling on the handle. Let's put it back in the lock position. That's why you have to be pulling on the handle. That way this can rotate freely. And this also acts as a stopper for this, because otherwise this would fly out and you could lose it if you don't know where it goes. But if you pull on the handle, it's gonna get stuck right there, and this part won't fly out. So we know why we need to be pulling on this one, but remember, we also need to be pulling on this one as well. This might get stuck right here. I don't know if you can see this. When you try to spin it, it's gonna get stuck. But if you apply pressure from the bottom, you see how it pulls this all the way down, and you can see the clearance there. So if you're pulling on this, it's gonna make it very easy to turn like that. Otherwise, if you don't apply any type of pressure and it's all the way in, this might get stuck on that little ridge right there, and you're gonna have a lot of trouble and it's not gonna move. That's why you have to apply pressure also on this one, so you can pull it down so that it can make the clearance right there. And that's how you can make the tooth go all the way to the back. So remember, you have to be pulling on this one and on this one at the same time when you move the tooth. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. And this is an example of how it would look on the inside if you were to unlock it using the pick. You don't want to press too hard, because this thing might actually derail, but just make sure you don't apply too much force. I'm not applying that much force. It's just a gentle tug and pull. You also want to make sure that the dentures on the pull tab are facing that way. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to secure this pin with this little piece of metal that's sticking out. That way, when you're putting the door, this thing won't be falling off, because it probably might fall off and then you're gonna have to start all over again. But if you do this, it's probably gonna save you a lot of time, because this way this won't move anymore. And there's still some flexibility there with the rubber band, but it won't be falling off. So it's important that, because you're doing this with a pick, that you probably only want to put maybe one screw on either side of the door, because if you put them all and then you put this at the end and you try and lock it, and if it doesn't work, if something happens to the ring, you're gonna have to start all over again. So it's best just to put one screw on each side and then try and lock it, and then if it works, you can continue to bolt down all your bolts. So now I'm going to attempt to lock it. And once you're able to identify that this doesn't come off anymore, you can now move on to bolting down all your screws. So once you are done, this is how your door should work. Notice that it pulls back with force. There's no wiggle anywhere. And even though you can take apart your door, if you don't have that little screw that goes on the side, this is going to be a little bit complicated. You might have to redo some steps a couple of times, but it is very doable. And so thank you for watching this video.